Hello, beautiful being. Welcome to In Her Dreams, and welcome to your reading. I'm so grateful that you're taking time to tune in to see what messages are flowing in from Spirit for you. Ashe. Thank you, Divine. I'm hearing everything's gonna be okay. You have the strength that you need. You have the protection that you need. Nothing can change the fact that your journey is divine, it's protected, and it's blessed. Ashe. We have the new moon in Capricorn on the 18th, and the question that we're being encouraged to ask is, what shape is our foundation in? Does our foundation need any repairs? Is this current foundation where we still want to build, or are we ready to build elsewhere? Taking a look at our foundation, making any repairs that might need to be made, or at least setting an intention to do so. Is our foundation stable? Okay. Capricorn is earth energy, so this is looking at our roots. Do they need some fertilizer? Do they need some water? You know? How can we tend to our roots, to our foundation? So it's a good thing to meditate on, or to at least open up to Spirit, to allow the divine to bring through whatever messages are needed. Okay? Ashe. Thank you, Spirit. What's coming through for this beautiful being? What message do they need at this time, Spirit? The Fates. It's card 17. There's something that you've been wishing for. Because there's something in your life that isn't done developing yet. You may have hoped that it would be. I feel like you're hoping for something to be done, to be completed. Divine says it's still being built. Sounds like a foundation, or something that's being built on a foundation. Something in your life is still being constructed. I'm hearing there's no need to wish for what you want. You're making it happen, and Divine is supporting you. Because with this Fate card, I'm getting this energy of like wishing and hoping for a positive fate, for a positive outcome. But the work that you're doing and the way in which Divine is supporting you, everything is happening in the right timing. It's not done yet. Perhaps you want it to be done. You want it to be complete. There's a mission that you want to be complete. But it's still under construction. It's supposed to be. This is what produces the best outcome, is allowing this process to unfold at the pace and in the way that it's supposed to. You might not have the blueprint, the full plan. I heard the battle plan. And so there's something that is unknown here, which might be a source of frustration where you just want to know how everything's going to be. You want the whole blueprint. But with this unfinished symphony, all the pieces are there that are needed, all the instruments. You've got your wind section, you've got your strings, you've got your drums. I don't know. I was never in band, but you've got all the pieces of the puzzle. All that's needed now is patience and diligence as you build. Serendipity. You're going to have a very successful, joyful outcome. It's something that's going to make you happy. It's going to bring you joy. Because your energy is beautiful. You know, it's funny though, because the Serendipity card is card 18, which is the moon card in the tarot. And that represents what is hidden. So it's almost as if, yes, your outcome is positive, but you might not see the way that it's going to look in the end, the final product. You haven't seen it yet, but it's going to be good. This is the process. Not knowing how it's going to look in the end helps you to trust yourself as you go and to trust the divine. If we had all the answers, there would be no point to having faith or being on this journey, this spiritual path of learning to trust ourselves and learning to trust the universe. That is truly where our power lies. It's not in always getting exactly what we manifested, exactly the way that we saw it in our minds. Our third eye is on point. You know, it's like, that's great, but the joy really does just naturally come to us when we learn to trust and know that all is well. I'm hearing also that if there's some chaos that you are sensing around you, still all is well. Isn't there always some chaos? You know? Isn't there always? At least just a little bit. Our strength comes in embracing exactly where we are right now and being at peace. Thank you, Spirit. What are the crows saying to us, Divine? What do the crows want to say to this beautiful being? Release. Dominance. Fear. Warning. Upheaval. Survival, communication, perspective. Okay. Yeah. You might sense that something is changing, and it is. It is. For some of you, you know, what Spirit brought through with the new moon in Capricorn about the, and it doesn't matter when you're seeing this, that's the energy that's coming through, okay, for you here. There could be something that's truly changing about your foundation. There's someone who wanted to exert dominance over you, But you're releasing whatever hold they had on you. You're releasing it. And that's something. Because you would think, oh, you have to release me. You have to let go of me. Stop trying to dominate me. No, you release it. Because the truth is that their dominance, it's energy. It's energy. Whoever this person is who's trying to exert control over you, it might end in the physical realm with how they're trying to control your finances or trying to control something very real in your life. But it starts with just energy. It starts with a thought that they have, or a feeling that they have, a wound that they have, where they just feel so driven to gain control over you because they are fearful of something within themselves. This person really doesn't control you, but they create an illusion that tells themselves that they do, and that tells you that they do, and perhaps other people as well. 1111 on the timer. But see, portals are always open for your freedom. That's your reality. Whatever control this person has tried to exert over you, it's been with the intention of making you so uncomfortable that you would submit to them. It's dirty. Their intentions are very weak. See, people who have to work so hard to be in this energy, to try to control someone with pain and suffering, that's because of the pain and suffering that they feel inside. That's all that they know how to send out to the world, how to project towards other people. And what I'm getting is that this person has for so long maintained this thought or this process of trying to dominate you, having you under their control. But it's not working anymore because you've outgrown their control. You've outgrown them. You've outgrown their maniacal intentions. Because they treated you small, you used to feel small. But you realized that that was a lie, that your spirit is vast. Your spirit, your soul, take up space, infinite space, okay? And whatever confines they try to set up for you, you outgrew that a long time ago. And another thing is that the reason for this release, you can't help but be free now because you see through them. You see that their dominance is just an illusion. They're really not big and bad. It's like the damn Wizard of Oz. They project this image of power. They project this image of self-confidence. But truly, what's behind that curtain is a very afraid, wounded child who was neglected, perhaps abused, rejected constantly by the people who were supposed to care for them. And so they are so deeply afraid of being rejected. And instead of sharing energy with others and learning about themselves and investing truly in order to grow, they try to force people to accept them through pain and by putting them into submission and by causing them fear. This is their way of surviving. This is how they try to survive. And this has been their method of survival for so long. And for a while, you were in this this illusion with them. See, when narcissists and emotionally immature beings, and particularly narcissists are emotionally immature, you know? But here I'm referring to this energy as narcissistic because they don't mind causing pain. They don't mind it. But when they create these illusions, we are the ones who support the illusions by believing the lies that they tell, or by ignoring our truth in order to continue to support them or stay in a relationship. We support the illusion without our approval. Their illusion cannot last. It absolutely will crumble. We are a necessary part of the recipe for their survival. This person who's been exerting dominance over you and fear, they have only been able to survive because of your support, because of your healing energy, because of your abundance. They've been using you. And so we're in minute 16 now. There's been a tower. Because you listened to a warning that came through. I feel like this warning was their behavior. This warning was something that they did that was like the last straw. You said, what? You know, it's like everybody has that moment when you wake up and you're fed up and you're ready to let it go. Because there's this sense of tiredness where you notice a pattern that's been happening over and over again, and you acknowledge how kind you've been, but you realize that there's nothing wrong with your kindness. You've just been giving it to the wrong person. And that's something that's coming through here as Divine says, don't change your personality. Don't change who you are. Don't change your traits, you know. Just because a narcissist hates empathy does not mean that empathy is not what this world needs. 1717 on the timer. Hope and healing. Okay? If you have the gift of empathy, of being able to tune into a person's emotions, or being able to understand or read a room and know what's going on, you pick up on things. As long as you're not absorbing that energy and it's not weighing you down, you are a healthy empath. But we can also be an empowered empath, right? An empowered empath, that's when you know your gifts and you choose who gets to enjoy your energy. And what I'm hearing is that it's very few people that will actually deserve that interaction where you are giving them a steady stream, a steady flow of your empathy. It might have to be where it's like, you know, you're setting boundaries. This is a part of being a healthy empath. We have to learn these things so that we can be who we are and not become a narcissist. There are things that we can learn from everybody. You know, the way that a narcissist acts like they don't give a fuck. Sometimes we can take that and be like, okay, my time here is done, you know? So there are things that we can learn from anyone, but the key is not to become a narcissist. The key is not to become like them, because then we're corrupted. And if the whole world becomes narcissistic, which sometimes it looks like it's a little bit like that, but it's not, you know what I'm saying? We're not there, okay? But the key is to love who you are. So much so that you allow this upheaval, whatever needs to be shaken up, in order to release this energy of domination and fear that has tried to hold you captive. You love yourself through that situation, and you love yourself so fervently and so consistently that there's no way that a person can continue to bring harm and craziness your way. that's what I'm getting, is like this person really wanted to come in with some crazy expectations, hypocrisy. Things that they wanted to do were just fine, but then when you do something similar with good intentions, it's a problem. You see, because with a person like this, it's always your fault. And that's one reason why people who maintain relationships, whether it's in the workplace, whether it's in the home, whether it's in a community, people who continue to maintain relationships with a narcissist on their terms tend to suffer from mental illness. Because after so much gaslighting and so much blame shifting and so much triangulation and all the things that they do, all their little tricks, which are the same, they just rotate through them. But after so much of that, if you're not pouring into yourself, then what that tells the mind is, they're right. This is who I am. So if you got a narcissist telling you who you are, you're not going to like yourself. But see, you have come to a place where you are no longer allowing a narcissist or anyone else, especially who's low vibe, or anyone who doesn't truly care about you or love you, someone who's forming a meaningful reflection and helping you grow if they truly love you, that's one thing. But you're not allowing any narcissist or anyone who doesn't love you and care about you to tell you anything about yourself. Because quite honestly, their feedback is bullshit. And it's only given in order to manipulate a situation. The only reason that this person ever tells you anything, their perspective, when they communicate with you, it's always from a narcissistic perspective. Why would you listen to someone who clearly doesn't even love themselves? People think they do because they enter the room so self-assured and everything, and that mask, whatever mask it is that they've picked for the day, is projecting to people that they're accomplished and they're in the know and they're whatever. But you see through that. You see through all of that because you see the truth. What is this? Oh, there we go. And I saw this when I was shuffling these cards. Protect your third eye. There's somebody who wants to get into your realm. I'm hearing they want to phase into your world, like phase through your walls. And see what you're doing. Listen, you're divinely protected. Someone is trying to see you, and what I'm getting is that now they want to see you in the physical realm. If you have separated from this person, but they want more of you in the physical realm because they're unable to reach you energetically, spiritually. But Divine says that whatever you're doing to protect your third eye, whether you're using lapis lazuli, okay, putting that on your third eye at night, okay, doing meditations, playing healing frequency music, using your Florida water, like all of those things, layer your protection rituals, right? But whatever you're doing to protect your third eye is working. Divine says this is a message for you to keep doing that. Because yes, they're very persistent and they keep trying. But whatever it is that they've tried to do, they're not able to access your third eye. So continue to protect it. Because what you do works. Okay? What you do works. Also, all of this is coming through in order for you to protect your outcome. Because you definitely, listen, I don't care what narcissist or what heathen. I don't know why they can't. I never say heathen, but. And then I'm hearing Esther on Sanford and Son. Yo, heathen. It's like, I don't know. There could be some older people in this situation. I'm seeing Esther and Sanford from Sanford and Son. Lamar. Somebody's name could be Lamar. But I don't care who's involved in this situation. The outcome for you is happiness, joy, peace, prosperity. Okay? This right here, it reminds me of a 4-leaf clover. I know it's not, but that's what it reminds me of. So you have lots of luck coming to you. And with that being card 18, somebody wants to hide your happy outcome. They know it. This narcissist that's trying to dominate you, they see your happy outcome too. They have nightmares about it. And the reason why they hate that, the reason why they hate your happy outcome that they already know is unfolding for you, is because it means that they were wrong. See, this person criticized you. This person told you that something that you were doing was wrong. They ridiculed you. They ridiculed you. I'm hearing they made fun of you. They laughed about your progress and your plans to other people. They brought other people together just to make fun of you. And because they stood on this pedestal, they put themselves on a pedestal and mocked you. They were so loud and wrong. Now see, you know that's a terrible thing. Everybody's wrong sometimes, right? But to be loud and wrong because they had such evil intentions, they made a fool of themselves. And the only reason they feel foolish now is because you have fulfilled your promise to yourself. And every single blessing that's due to come your way, it is happening. It is manifesting. And so that's one reason why Divine says with this unfinished symphony and the fates, you know, it's under construction. Everything is happening. There's no need to get impatient with your process and your progress simply because you feel like you have something to prove or because somebody's discouraging you. That destructive criticism, if we allow it to, it really does hold us back. But when we see that destructive criticism that they give, that ridicule, the mockery, when they try to make a mockery of what we do, of our progress and all of that, when you see that that is just simply the nastiness within themselves that they can't contain, and so they've got to feel better today, so they got to make somebody look terrible or look awful or make somebody hate someone. That's their shit. That has nothing to do with you. So let them be over there miserable. They're no longer on that pedestal though. They're over in the corner hiding, trying to defend themselves from the truth that you speak and from the truth that you are, that you represent. Because just in your everyday life, you getting up and doing the things that you are determined to do and that you're destined to do, that is your truth. You don't even have to say a word, and it's still like you're speaking your truth because you live in truth. And they live in lies. That's all that they do. They create lies and masks and manipulation and illusions. That's all that they know. So your truth is too powerful for them. And that's what's leading to your release. You're releasing this person. You have released them. They no longer have power over you. And I'm getting that they hate that. Let them hate it. Don't eat their food. Now, I'm getting that for some of you, this could be a community environment or a work environment. If you go to any sort of little gathering, don't eat food that you're suspicious of. Or if there's somebody, because you know, sometimes we do that at like a little party or something just because we don't want to seem like we're turning our nose up at somebody's food. Turn your nose up and turn around. Don't even go to the party if you don't want to. Whatever this is, it could be a gathering of some sort. If you want to go, then go, but be cautious of the food around you and your drink. I heard keep your drink in your hand at all times. And don't drink anything that they've poured for you. But if you don't want to go, even better. If you want to go, you'll be safe, but just be cautious, okay? A substance scandal. See, and isn't that crazy that came out right along with don't eat their food? Whoever these people are, they are involved in substances. I'm getting that they use substances, okay? And they are involved in a scandal because they have been trying to make money because they no longer have access to funds that they used to have access to. This is a part of their karma. And so they have stooped so low as to do illegal things with substances. But, you know, getting high on your own supply, that's something that they do as well. So they're in trouble there. But they also use substances to control and manipulate other people, which is why if you're ever around this person or these people, my spirit just keeps saying, don't be around them if you don't have to be. But if you are around them, do not eat anything that they have prepared for you, okay? Or drink. They're all talk. This is somebody who's all talk. If they've made a promise to you, it's no good. You need to know that. That is a warning that's coming through. Okay, so there might be some messages that are like warning you of some things with this person or these people. They let evil people in. So there could be someone in your realm who allowed some evil people in because they don't have strong intuition. This could be a sibling. This could be a spouse. This could be, for some of you, an older child, an adult child who allowed some people into their life. And you knew that these people were trouble. But the person who let them in, they don't have strong intuition. They're not tapped in and tuned in. Outside influences brought a storm and maybe some cockroaches. Okay, so there's a little story to that. I was living in a basement apartment right out of college, and one of my sisters came to visit me, and I had cockroaches. So I called the lady who lived in the house, the landlady, and I said, listen, I got cockroaches. You need to get an exterminator. And she said, didn't your sister come visit you? Maybe she brought them in her suitcase. Now, how narcissistic is that? She was living in the house I grew up in, and we have never had cockroaches there. So it was her way of trying to put the blame on me, right? Or on somebody so that she didn't have to pay. And that was just one of many things she did to avoid costs of being a landlord, being landlady. But there's somebody who brought a storm because they opened up a portal where you like to keep your circle very tight. But there's somebody that was close to you or is close to you who opened a portal to allow people in, and it has become like an infestation. Okay, so all that these people breed is negativity, sorrow, grief, pride, arrogance, and it's nasty. Okay, wishing they could undo the spells and black magic. There's somebody here who tried to control or dominate using spells and black magic, and their karma has come back to collect. Okay, it has come to let them know that they really did mess up. They did too much. They did too much. They went too far. Holistic healing. This may be something that's a big part of your spiritual hygiene. If you have experienced sickness or an illness of any sort, you may be looking for, or you may have, I feel like for some of you this is in the past, But you may have looked to herbal remedies and natural ways of healing. I'm hearing that if you use Western medicine, just make sure you do your research. That's very important also with holistic healing. So always do your research, okay? But this openness that you have to look to nature to heal you, I'm hearing that that is saving your life. So you might have a routine that you use where you implement something holistic, herbs, anything that's natural, okay? Even if it's like something that benefits your way of life, like feng shui. I worked with a lady who was all into that. She knew everything about it. I just kind of, if the room makes me feel good, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know all the details of feng shui, but that might be something that you do. You're very close to nature. You're very united with spirit. You are one with spirit. You know, with some people, there's a lot of resistance between themselves, their body, mind, soul, and spirit. But you are one. And this is something that is increasing the joy in your life. And it's extending your life as well. They warned you. Oh, they warned you. You know, warning keeps coming through. Warning keeps coming through. Somebody's been warned to leave you alone. And somebody is in a psych ward. So this says they wanted you in a psych ward. That was somebody's plan for you. But somebody is in a psych ward. People around them are... So for some of you, there's someone who's attacked you who is currently in a psych ward, okay? They became obsessed with spell work, and I'm hearing it's quieted them. They can't talk. They can't speak. They're like in a state of shock, you know? But for some of you, this is a person that people surrounding them are talking like, we need to get them some help. They're planning an intervention, but people are backing away because the sentiment seems to be, we've tried and they haven't listened. They're so stubborn. They're extremely hard-headed. And they're wanting to just back away from this person and let them experience their rock bottom. Anything else coming through for this beautiful being, divine? What's coming through with the extra deck? What does this beautiful being need to know? Yep. Dealing with a narcissist. I mean, there's a plenty of them in the world, so if you are a divine being, you're more than likely gonna come in contact with one or have a long-term experience with one, okay? But the beautiful thing is that because you're so protected by your angels and spirit guides and spirit itself, great spirit, okay? Your ancestors. Your serendipity is a sure thing. You are guaranteed peace and harmony. You know why? Because that is something that you have generated within yourself. And one thing I have learned is that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, it's a little more challenging when it's somebody very close to you, when it's a parent or when it's a spouse or someone that you, or a sibling that you live with. Like, when you live with a narcissist, it is more challenging, but all that means is that you have to rise even higher. Where do you have to rise to? A place of unlimited self-love. Like, you have to be your biggest fan. You have to be so all about yourself. And that might seem selfish and narcissistic in itself, but the truth is that when it's genuine self-love, and it's not something that you are telling yourself about yourself like some sort of arrogant statement that you're constantly replaying in your mind and projecting evil towards other people. No. What you're doing is you're taking that destructive criticism, that evil that you have heard, that you faced constantly, and you're transmuting it into your own sense of self-love and acceptance. The very things that this narcissist said were awful about you, you're allowing yourself to just fall in love with those things. But in a real way, in an authentic way. And that is what, when you're in a battle with a narcissist, that self-love is what puts you here. Where they're still down here battling and trying to shoot darts and all this stuff. It's like they're fighting themselves, or they have to find someone else to get a reaction out of, because that is genuinely what they thrive on, is your reaction. 4111 on the timer. Narcissists beg for your attention. Every little thing that they do it's focused on you. That's why their quote-unquote self-love is such a facade, because everything that they do is to get a rise out of you, or to create a sense of fear in you, or to make you feel like they dominate you, like they control. They love to control. They thrive off of that as well. So when you take the evil that they send you and you turn it into your own self-love, that elevates you instantly. And then you're out of their reach. And you have to keep doing this. You have to keep nurturing yourself, keep rising above them. And the goal is to love yourself so much that you manifest a reality where you are no longer within close reach of a narcissist, but living in the world, we're always going to come in contact with these people. So the best thing to do is to increase our self-love, continue to focus on our purpose, our divine purpose, and instead of focusing on wishing what the narcissist would do, wishing that they would heal themselves and wishing that they would respect us and all of that, whatever it is that they're not giving you, give it to yourself. And that way you become untouchable by their evil. They can't touch you. If you are in a situation, in a work environment or home environment where you're currently in the presence of a narcissist, keep your vibration high. And if you're having a day where it's like you're feeling a little down or something like that, distance yourself from them. Okay, keep yourself occupied with something that you love or something that boosts your vibe. Try not to be in their presence because you already know what they're bringing, okay? But in most cases, like when you're vibing high, you can be in their presence for a bit and you're like, okay, whatever. I already know who you are, so. Okay, but protect your vibration. That's the most important thing when dealing with a narcissist. You got Taurus energy here. This is the earth element. This is your security within yourself, within your beauty, the beauty of your soul, the beauty of your spirit, the beauty of your mind, the beauty of your body. Those are the things that divine really want. Look, with spirit guides, that's what you're being guided to focus on, is your wealth, your good health, and your positive intentions that you set for your body, soul, mind, spirit. That's it. And don't let the narcissist take you away from that, because they are simply a distraction. They're simply a distraction. That's all they are. That is it. That's it. And when we realize that, it's like, oh, okay. You know, they're a small-minded being that has yet to see past their pain, and they just want to create pain for others, and they think that that's going to work. But, and you know, really, it's a coping mechanism, or it's a way that they cope, okay, throughout life. So it kind of does work for them, honestly, because a lot of people around them buy into their mask. But whoever this is that has been combating you, they're in a really awful place. They're very depressed. And for those of you who this person is not yet admitted into a psych unit, they need to be. Now, that's not something you need to orchestrate. You know, you're not responsible for this person. Hopefully you're not. You know, if this person is actually, you're legally responsible for them, then get the support that you need through that process. But if they're a grown adult and they're responsible for themselves, don't take that on. You don't have to heal this person, because a narcissist has to heal themselves, and most don't. But we certainly can't heal them. All we can do is learn and protect ourselves and become stronger from the process. Okay, thank you, Spirit. What's coming through for this beautiful being? What message do they need? Caterpillar, opportunity, card number 4. Okay, let's see. You know, I like that because the energy of this new moon in Capricorn, it reminds me of the 4 of Pentacles, where it's like steadiness, protecting your energy, kind of managing just what's yours, focusing on you, focusing on what's yours. And that increases your strength. But it could be seen as a selfish energy, but so often we need that energy because we're guided by society and by narcissistic individuals to be so selfless. And then we lose ourselves in all of their manipulation and strategies. So the 4 of Pentacles, where you have this person who's holding their pinnacle, taking care of their own, that's what this energy feels like. Protecting yourself, protecting what's yours. Okay, this card number 4, let's get there, Trini. All right, transformation, opportunity, independence from conditioned responses. Ooh, whatever it is that you have felt like you needed to say all the time to make this person happy or because of their domination, that's what's being released. This is your independence. Okay, the energy of Caterpillar appears, heralding a time of transformation and opportunity. Here you are being asked to revise your dreams. If it looks and smells familiar, step away from it for the time being. The new cannot emerge from the old, and the youthful and vital cannot emerge from the aged and sickly. Experiment and surprise yourself with what arises for you at this moment. Caterpillar is an invitation to test out a new strategy to get a different, better result. Remember that the definition of lunacy is continuing with the same thinking and behavior and hoping for a different outcome. It's time to break away from habitual responses, to surprise yourself and startle others, eliciting a smile or frown or look of awe from those around you. Do not wait for an invitation from life to practice a bit of outrageousness or for permission to do the unexpected. Any other response right now will lead to more of the same and no real change. Sometimes the most original response is no response whatsoever. Stand stock still. That sounds like gray rocking, doesn't it? Isn't that what they call it? Gray rocking? Where the narcissist tries something and you're like, You know, all of a sudden you start filing your nails. You know, you're just like, whatever. Okay? You're totally preoccupied with what you want to do. Because you're not on their program. You're not on their program. They are not running you. Okay? This narcissist, they don't run a damn thing. Remember that. They don't run you. Sometimes, sometimes the most original response is no response whatsoever. Stand stock still, staring steadily into the eyes of the players in your drama, avoiding engagement until the moment is right. Caterpillar invites you to witness the story unfolding. It's like unfinished symphony. Your destiny is unfolding. It's manifesting so beautifully and in the pace that's right. At the pace that's right. Knowing that deciding on the timing of your action is as essential as finding the best move to make. And when you do act, let there be no doubt in anyone's mind of your determination and the power you unleash. You are so powerful. And with that Four of Pentacles, where you're protecting what's yours, you're building your power. Okay? It's like you're charging, you're recharging. So if you need to distance yourself and just stay to yourself a bit, allow yourself to nurture your energy and recharge, do that. And whatever you feel is a good move to switch things up as you continue to grow, switch it up. Don't be afraid to do that, because this is your life. And if you want to do something unexpected, if you want to do something out of the norm, you should do it. Oh my gosh, I'm looking at Uranus right now. You know, it's that Aquarius energy where it's like you're a rebel and you do what you want to do, you know? Absolutely. I love it. I love it. And I love you, beautiful being. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that this reading brought you some clarity, some support, some good vibes. I really appreciate you taking the time to tune in and be here. Ashe, I love you, and I wish you peace, I wish you joy, and so many blessings. Take care.